And listen, guys, we are going to get on to the next interview of the day. Obviously, we had Invicta Fighting Championships a couple of weeks ago. Carla Esparza versus Rowdy Bec Hyatt.
What a fight.
What a fight for the inaugural Invicta FC strawweight title. So we caught up with Bec to talk all things Australian MMA and her recent sort of evolution, explosion as a prominent Australian mixed martial artist across the water in USA. So we caught up with Bec Hyatt, and this is what she had to say. Guys, we'll catch you in a few minutes. Check it.
This is King Mo, and you're listening to Talking Brawls.
Delighted to say we're joined on the line by Bec Rowdy Hyatt, who went up against Carla Esparza at Invicta Fighting Championships 4 and showed an absolutely fantastic performance of gut and determination, taking the fight on such short notice. Bec, thanks a million for coming on the show, and how are things with you? How are you keeping?
Hey, I'm good actually. I've just had about a week off training and I've just started getting back into it, but it's been good to just chill out with the kids. So yeah, I'm a little fat though. I've been kicking out, so my trainer's pulled me up. He's like, come on, back to the diet, back to training.
Awesome stuff. And obviously the fight, it was, Carla Esparza is, a very tough competitor. You took the fight on quite short notice. What were your expectations going into the fight, Bec, and how did you realistically think you'd get on in the fight? Because it was an awesome display. I don't think anyone really expected such a, sort of heroic performance.
Yeah, a lot of people thought that I was going to get finished in the first round, but if you've trained around me or seen me train and whatever at my gym, you know that the people that I'm close to knew that I wasn't going to get destroyed in the first round because they know what I'm capable of. So we're quite confident in my skills, and we were confident that I could win it, and I nearly did at the end of round 5. So I'm really happy with my performance. I knew that she'd beat me in the wrestling side because I hadn't prepared for it, but I knew that I was just going to go out there and take the fight to her, which I did, which I was really pleased with.
Bec, what's it like to you're training for a different fighter, and all of a sudden you get this opportunity of taking your career to a different stratosphere, and all of a sudden you're told it's going to be a 5-round fight. How much of a change, and is there a panic with your coaches, or what's it like within the camp when you have this sort of an opportunity thrust upon you?
No, there wasn't a panic. I've been training. When I train for 3-5s, I always do 5-5s or 6-5s anyway in training. So we knew I was fit enough. That was the main thing, like that you'd be fit enough to go to 5-5s. But I'm always really good cardio-wise, so there was no panic at all. We knew that her wrestling would be an issue, but we had confidence in my ground skills, and I was able to neutralise her on the ground. I've got a good guard, so that played it well in my part. I wasn't too phased, I knew she was going to take me down, but I was quite confident that she wouldn't get any further. So yeah, there wasn't really a panic. Like I said, we're quite confident in my skills, but it was just a huge opportunity that we couldn't pass up. There was nothing to lose for me. Like if I had gone in there and got destroyed in round 1, everyone is expecting that anyway, so there was nothing to lose.
And Bec, obviously you were supposed to fight Joanne Calderwood first off at Invicta FC 4. Once you got the call to fight, you knew you were fighting Esparza, and I saw at the end of the fight it was actually it's one thing I love about mixed martial arts, and the sort of camaraderie at the end. And I saw on Twitter and stuff you were out with Esparza and Felix Herrig, having a few drinks afterwards and all. How tough was it to do that after, it was for the strawweight title? Was it? It's a very good thing to see, and it's the spirit of mixed martial arts. But obviously, you would have loved to bring back the title back to Australia. Is that something you'll be looking for again in the future? A possible rematch down the line?
Yeah, definitely. I know I have to win a few more fights and climb that ladder again. I know I only got given the opportunity because of the last minute injury. So I was aiming to go there anyway. I was aiming to climb that ladder and get there. So. It's just a bonus that I got the shot straight away. Yeah. But now I'm willing to win a few more fights and get that title match and bring that shiny little belt home with me.
Bec, how hard is it to kick down the doors? Because in the last year or so, we've seen female mixed martial arts in the United States really kicking down the doors of the mainstream and kicking their way into the UFC and Invicta coming to the forefront. How hard is it to break into the sport and get it accepted as a legitimate mainstream sport from Australia? I'd assume it's something similar to as it is over in Ireland and the UK as well. But what's it like for you as a fighter to do that?
Yeah, definitely. Australia is about 5 years behind America. So it's hard for the guys to get recognised. It's even harder for the girls because they think that we, fight like little girls and pull hair and scratch and whatnot. So yeah, it's definitely hard. But I think we go out there and we put on a show and people start to recognise and know that we're coming to fight and we mean business. So it's hard initially to get that first shot. But once you've got that first fight under your belt and people have seen your skill set, it's easy sailing from there.
Especially when the smashes is just taking place over in Australia and the UFC is trying to integrate itself into the country. What did you feel in the last week where there's been this commotion coming out that the Western Australian board is trying to ban the cage in mixed martial arts? What's this all about? Can you tell me any more about this?
There's been a bit of controversy. A lot of people think that they're doing it to try and save the kickboxing scene in Western Australia because a lot of people were stopped going to the kickboxing and were going to the mixed martial arts.
Yeah.
So they're pretty much, this is what I've been told, that they're trying to stop MMA altogether so that the kickboxing scene can thrive. But I don't know, like Victoria as well have been struggling to get the cage legalised because they don't like the look of it. They think it looks barbaric. And they're idiots. They have no knowledge about the sport and they'll let it go under in a ring, but not in a cage because they don't like the look of the cage. Even though the ring is much more dangerous and whatever, they don't care. They're just sticking to their guns. So there's a lot of petitions going around trying to get them to overturn it. So it'll be interesting to see how it goes.
I was watching an interview with you the other day on Australian terrestrial television, and they had mixed martial arts fighter / cage fighter. And is there just a poor connotation to it? It's just something that struck me.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's honestly ridiculous. Like if someone asks me what sport I compete in, and I'll say I compete in mixed martial arts, they look at me with a puzzled look on their face. And then I have to say, like the cage, fighting in the cage. Oh, cage fighting.
Your cage fighting gym and that, yes. It's
But Bec, we were talking to Norman Park on our show last week, who won the lightweight division, the Smashes, and he was obviously out in Australia, up in the Gold Coast Convention Centre, I think it was on. He sort of said that the buzz around that sort of region, around obviously just north of, just south of Brisbane, I think, is that correct?
Yes.
South of Brisbane. He was saying the buzz around Gold Coast was absolutely incredible, and he said it was the most, sort of amazing atmosphere on that sort of section. I know there's been a lot of fights there in the Gold Coast in previous years. Is that a certain hotbed of mixed martial arts in Australia?
Queensland is. Queensland's the heart of mixed martial arts. It's got a lot of shows, a lot of local shows, and everyone gets behind it and supports them, so they're quite successful. The other states are really behind, like Tasmania and Victoria, and WA was legalised for the cage, and they were cool with it, but all of a sudden they've taken a few steps back. So yeah, Queensland, Brisbane and Gold Coast is definitely the heart of MMA, and that's why we moved up. We originally lived in Tasmania, so we moved to Queensland for more opportunities and fight shows and things like that.
And just going back a little bit with Invicta, how good is Shannon Knapp as a promoter, and how was that experience? We've had Shannon on the show
They
before.
are amazing. Invicta absolutely looked after every fighter. When we arrived, we got all these gift packs. Any questions we had, even leading up to the visa, all the visa issues and things like that, they got back to me as soon as possible. They were amazing, and you can tell that they're in the sport not to just try and make a quick buck off girls. They actually really have the passion and the love for women's MMA, and it's just great to see it succeed and really be successful. I can't wait to fight for them again in April.
Yeah, we've had Shannon on before, and she's an absolutely lovely woman.
Bec, where do you stand in your career? It could be the case that with Invicta growing to the state it is, and the possibilities with the UFC and female mixed martial arts, Does the idea of moving to the United States full time, because I know you have your base there and you're running the gym in Australia, where do you stand on trying to develop female mixed martial arts in Australia versus moving to the United States to forward your mixed martial arts career competitively?
It's always been my goal and my dream to move to the States because I know that's where, the money is and all the opportunities are. So I'd love to move to the States, but I love Australia and I love being the leader of women's MMA here. I love trying to lead and give them a, I don't know, like I've kind of broke through in the States and in Invicta, and now they're giving Alex Chambers a chance on Invicta as well. So it's nice that they're giving us Aussies a go, and I really like that. I'm really happy at my gym in Impact, and we've got a good team going on there. But if the opportunity came up to move to the US and I could bring my family over, I'd definitely jump at it because it's the big one. It's always been my dream to live there anyway. So we'll just have to wait and see.
And I believe you're going to be working with Liz Carmouche ahead of her fight with Ronda Rousey in the United States. Is that going to come to fruition?
Yeah, we're just trying to seek some sponsorship to fund my trip over there. I'm definitely keen to get over there and train with Liz. It'll just be a huge opportunity and help her out. She probably just wants me to punch her in the face, I reckon, after seeing my fight the other week. So it'll be awesome, a huge opportunity to get over there into her camp. And so we're just trying to work out the funds and try and get sponsorship. I'm about to sign with a new management firm, so we'll just have to see what happens from there.
Bec, you've just come off a tough defeat, but an amazing showing, and you went 5 rounds of this battle in the Invicta and the main card there, headlining their first ever pay-per-view. What's it like for you now? Do you have to go back to the drawing board, or how do you replot your route back to going searching for gold? I learn more from my losses than I do my wins, and it was a great opportunity to see where the little loopholes were. I'm definitely going back to the drawing board and working on a few things off my back. And I know, like, a lot of people are saying that, you figure out your takedown defense and you'll be unstoppable. But I haven't seen anyone in the division stop her double leg yet, so she's an All-American for a reason. I don't think that was a true, like, it's not really a thing about my skill set. It's I think she's got 10 years on all of us in wrestling, so back to the drawing board. And I think if I had a full fight camp to prepare for that double leg, it would have been a lot different. So definitely back to the drawing board and to fix a few little holes. So I don't think it's going to be completely based on takedown defense. Has it been exciting the way you've been able to challenge your support and the support you've managed to get from your own fans from the mixed martial arts underground and from Australia itself? Have you been excited by that? And how do you feel this is going to help you grow as a fighter? I heard you even won the was it the Women's Mixed Martial Arts Artist of the Year?
I won Fan of the Year. Favourite of the Year, so fan favourite. My support base is absolutely amazing. They're so loyal, and it's just jumped up a few thousand since I fought in Invicta.
Nice.
Which is crazy. It's been very hectic, but they're awesome, and I wouldn't be where I am without them guys supporting me and pretty much telling the promoters and stuff to give me a go. And they're amazing, and I love talking to them and sharing my story with them and stuff. So they've definitely helped me a lot.
Bec, obviously, we'll just have a couple more questions before we wrap it up. How did you get into mixed martial arts initially? Because I know you're a mother of 2 as well.
Yeah, I was really overweight before I met my husband, and he's an MMA fighter, and I met him at a kickboxing class because I was going to try and lose some weight and get fit. And that's where I met him, and he got me into MMA, and I pretty much never looked back. I just kept going back to training, and the weight kept coming off, and then once I got to a good weight and got quite good in my skills, I was definitely keen to compete, and I just jumped straight back into it.
And Bec, obviously with the emergence of the women's division in the UFC, if that goes to plan and it goes well in the next few years, can you see the UFC possibly adding more divisions like the strawweight division into their promotion?
Definitely. I think Liz and Ronda and the rest of the girls that I've heard being signed, I think they're going to put on some really good fights, and it's going to open a lot of the UFC fans' eyes to women's MMA, because a lot of them are anti-women's MMA still. So I definitely think once they're successful, they'll open it up and let us little ones come in and give it a go, because we're pretty exciting, like little feisty, little explosive ones, like little pocket rockets, so they can't really deny us for too long.
Yeah, definitely.
Bec, what is it about Invicta and Shannon Knapp that it seems as an organisation where the UFC is often lacking? There's a lot of faceless fighters who aren't there channeling their own fandom and getting their own fans behind them on Twitter and that. It seems in Invicta that Shannon has everyone out there, such as yourself, and everyone out there getting their fans behind them and rallying them up and trying to get them behind the product. What is it about Invicta and Shannon that gets you all to build such a brand for yourselves, and how do you feel being part of it?
I think it comes to it comes down to appreciation. We appreciate all the hard work they're putting in to give us girls a go, and so we're therefore paying them back and getting more supporters and getting their brand more exposure. So I think it's a case of we appreciate what they're doing for us, so we're going to work our asses off too. It's like we work for them, so we've got to earn our spot, and if we can get as many supporters behind us and then behind Invicta, it's only going to get bigger and bigger. So I think that's plays a big part. And the fact that most women fighters are really friendly and they don't mind interacting with people. So I think we find it easier to be more social with fans and supporters, and a lot of men, they kind of just keep to themselves and get into their little training and fight mode.
Bec, it's been a pleasure to talk to you, and you've really put Australian women's mixed martial arts on the worldwide map. Listen, thanks a million for your time. And is there anyone you'd like to plug, or any sponsors, and maybe your Twitter handle and your Facebook page before we let you go?
Oh yeah, definitely. I'd like to thank my major sponsor, Unrivaled, my gym, Impact MMA, my head coach, Mal Van, for all the work you guys have put into me. If you could follow my Twitter, it's @RowdyBec, and my Facebook is facebook.com/RowdyBec, and check out my banner, which has got all the sponsors that supported me for this fight camp, that really took the weight off my shoulders and helped me get over there and be comfortable and not have to worry about money and things like that. So support the people that support me.
Excellent stuff. And obviously you have you're looking to raise money for the go over to help out Liz Carmouche. Is there anyone you can get in contact with to possibly fundraise for you as well, to get over to that camp?
A lot of people on the UG, I get on the UG forums, and they're suggesting to open up a Fund a Fighter account where people donate money and they can get signed photos and stuff. So we're definitely looking into that if I can't find a big sponsor to jump on board and help fund it. So just keep an eye on my page and keep an eye on the underground forums, and you'll definitely be informed of what's going on with the camp and stuff like that. Awesome
stuff, Bec. Listen, thanks a million for your time. I really appreciate it, and hope to talk to you again soon in the future. Thanks.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
And that was the wonderful Bec Rowdy Hyatt, who was obviously, going to be back in Invicta Fighting Championships very soon, because she's on a 3-fight contract as far as we know. So we're looking forward to seeing her very much again in the Invicta Fighting Championships. Really looking forward to that and seeing Bec again, Mark.
Yeah, no, it was really interesting. I was really interested to hear her take on the Western Australian government or the board there trying to ban the cage in mixed martial arts in Western Australia, which is a bit looking weird for my liking, but pretty insane. And we see what someone who runs a mixed martial arts gym over there thinks of it anyway.
Yeah, she was absolutely a credit to herself and her country and her performance against Carla Esparza. In that fight, it was a cracking fight, and she showed great guts, determination and heart, and taking the fight in such short notice.
6 people turned it down.
That's it. That's correct.
Fucking insane.
So 2 weeks notice, or weeks notice even, as far as we're aware. But listen, fair play to Bec for giving us her time and coming on the show, and best luck to her, and check out and try and help her get sponsored to get over to that camp with Liz Carmouche. So check out her on Facebook and Twitter, as she mentioned.
No, I suppose with all of those people turned down the fights, a lot of those could be down to injuries.